This is a live Channels Television event.
Passion is backed by an industrious ability to work our land with our hands and our minds. We ask that you join us on this journey that promises to be both rewarding and profitable for all. Welcome to Ogun State. Welcome to the new frontier for business leadership Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Please, another round of applause would do fine. Very well said. Ogun State is the new frontier in Nigeria. And she did remind us that this is just the second Ogun State Investors Forum. You wouldn't think so with the amount of development that has taken place here so far. The first forum took place 2 years ago. But do you know that in between that short period, up to 45 companies have invested over $100 million in Ogun State? You know? What have they used the money for? Establishing industries in different industrial estates in the state. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but if we just all together do a little simple mathematics, and I know, I was never the best student of mathematics. I spent all my time talking. But if we calculate 45 times 100, that's 45 companies times $100 million times 2 years. Simple maths, $9 billion. I think that's the kind of money we're looking at in the next 2 years. Round of applause. And it's not just imagination or speculation. Okay. But that is another reason why you should invest in Ogun State. Now, ponder over that a while. We'd like to show you a little something about our wonderful state right now. We have this little documentary that we put together. And if you're ready, let's just watch this documentary. Shall we dim the house lights a little bit? Enjoy this. Are the engineers here with us? You probably want to start again and make sure that the audio is working. Thank you very much. Okay, I think what we should do is this. Can we have the house lights back on? Come on, could you just stop the video? We'll find, I'm sure we'll get it together and we'll run it much later on in the program, if we have the time. Thank you very much. Stuff happens. But not to bother. Because this is Ogun State.
And secondary schools, education is compulsory and is...
Just rewind and start again. Thank you very much. There is God who...
and is...
Ogun State, the gateway to Nigeria, is historically the midwife state, professionally, economically, religiously, educationally, and politically. Though created February 3, 1976, Ogun State is Nigeria's best-kept secret.
The Ogun State of my dream is a self-sufficient, secure, and productive state.
Its great sons and daughters are the national heroes who fought for Nigeria's independence, piloted the historical development, pioneered the professional, industrial, and political framework of the nation, and continue to be the leading lights of Nigeria's development.
Ogun State represents the best of Nigeria. And now is the time to exploit our full potential and develop an economic model that will take Nigeria to the next level.
Ogun State of today, under the leadership of Senator Ibikunle Amosun, FCA, is a consolidation of leadership and entrepreneurship that Ogun State always stood and still stands for in Nigeria.
Our economic master plan is as developed in our 5 cardinal program, starting with qualitative and affordable education. By educating our people, we are investing in our future. It is an educated populace that is easily governed.
Since the inception of this administration, His Excellencies introduced a free education program where in the primary and secondary schools, education is compulsory and is free to all people in Ogun State. The government had abolished all these forms of fees in primary and secondary schools. So I would say that that is one of the major achievements of this present administration.
The second being efficient healthcare delivery system. The third is increased agricultural production that will lead us to industrialization. The era of peasant farming is gone. We want to take full advantage of the value chains that agriculture offers. Whatever we grow, we must process.
Statistics reveal that of the entire seeds and seedlings that Nigeria needs for its farming enterprise, only 6% are locally sourced. There's a 94% gap in the system. We are encouraging more and more people to go into the entire value chain of agriculture.
The fourth one is the housing and urban renewal.
For the potential investors who want to go and establish their business in Ogun State, we are building more housing estates that can accommodate them.
It's important for us to, while maintaining our standards, that we also make the projects affordable, both to the international investor and the local investor, as well as the Ogun State indigenous.
And the fifth, which by no means is the least, is infrastructural development that will ultimately lead us to massive employment generation and wealth creation.
It is the most industrialized state in Nigeria. Nigeria's premier industries have relocated and made Ogun State their new and permanent homes.
Ogun State is considered to be the fastest growing state in terms of industry explosion.
Presently, about 46 industries in Ogun State that have been commissioned in the last
35 months. And the reason why we've been able to achieve that is that Ogun State has been able to create conducive environment for business to thrive.
A new generation of the Lagos workforce now resides in Ogun State, making it a safe abode and home for raising their families. Even Mr. President testifies to this.
Personally congratulate the governor of Ogun State, the government of Ogun State, and my good brothers and sisters, the people of Ogun State, for making this part of the country very, very attractive for the investors.
And it's a huge privilege that our people have given us, the confidence they repose in us. It must not be taken for granted.
The strategy is really what you're seeing around the state. Build the infrastructure. If you build the infrastructure, ultimately what happens is you increase the value of your state as an investment destination.
The one-stop shop is an easy access and solutions service scheme comprising of 3 steps. 1, a formal letter. 2, induction, certification and registration of business premises. And 3, relationship management.
If you're a one-stop shop, it's very key, it's important, because somebody must take ownership. The business people must know who to talk to. Investors must know who to follow up with. All the 3 steps has really helped to ease and make life easier for the potential investors and existing investors, because they may even want to expand their businesses. And the potential investors, they now know that they have somewhere they can go to, they make the necessary acquisition, and we follow up and take ownership, and they get the request and response. And this has really made the investors, industries, it has made them to thrive, and they're happy about that.
The crusader of this revolution, who displays the creativity, proactivity, and objectivity of the new Ogun State, is Senator Ibikunle Amosun, FCA, a visionary leader with a mission to rebuild. The last 3 years in Ogun State have witnessed unprecedented business and investment growth, led by a focused, determined, and purposeful leadership.
Without any intention to probably be modest, Ogun State, we are unique. We have that rich pedigree, but we just must not drop the ball. And when you look at what those our founding fathers, what they did, our mothers, our fathers, it was selfless service that they gave to the good people of Ogun State. And so, when the opportunity presents itself, I ask myself, can I even begin to, not match, begin to even walk in the footsteps of those giants that came before us? And the answer is yes, let me try. And that is one thing that pushes me. When you have a leader who has a vision, who has a mission, you must be able to buy into it. And if you're not passionate about your job, how do you give the right service?
You just have to be near him to catch the bug. You know, he encourages all of us to just try and see a bit of what he can see. And that works.
I see Ogun State as a promising, rapidly developing state with a huge potential for growth. Our strength lies in our people, our culture, our natural resources, our passion for excellence, and our commitment to our 5 cardinal programs as expressed in our mission to rebuild Ogun State. When we bring all of these elements together, we will create an economically viable, vibrant, and thriving successful state. That is the Ogun Standard. Welcome.
Thank you, please. A round of applause. That's a marvelous documentary. Wonderful. No wonder why I didn't want to start. So brilliant. And I think finally we've been told what Ogun State is.
Commercial capital of Nigeria.
This particular administration
I thought it was over.
has been able to convince everybody about its mission to rebuild. It's done a lot of wonderful work for people to see. And of course, this now has become a cliche that even the blind can feel the vibrations of the machineries that are working. If you cannot see, you feel that there's work going on in your state.